Okay, how's that sound? Who's up for making some money? I'm just saying, honey, right?
Thank you, Joe. Absolutely. Yeah, she's really. I'm actually going to be doing here a haircut. I don't know whoever was here yesterday. Actually, only gave Lyra here a haircut, and we're taking it now to the next level. And it's all curly, naturally curly hair, beautiful curly hair. It's not that thick of a curl. It maybe looks like it has a finer texture. That's why it separates so absolutely beautiful in the way. And everybody that has curly hair in the salon, when I do shows, either in Europe or in the United States, I always ask the people with curly hair what is their ritual to do to their curls, because they have a mind of its own. And curly hair, I'm using the Karg Shear K Wide, with a W. The Karg Shear K Wide was the first shear that was actually produced with a broken or with a polished off edge. It has a 1.2 centimeter width of blade, and it has a regular convex edge, but then in addition was polished off. So it doesn't cut a straight line, it cuts in a 45-degree angle. I'll be using this now because when you cut freehand, you don't want to have like little holes literally cut in. You want to have like then shifts in all directions. As a matter of fact, like every curl turns either to the left or to the right, you can actually scoop it accordingly, so it actually also is lighter at the end so you can turn nice. Well, I would like to also let you know, for all the...
Here's my color blocking model. How many of you have been following the fashion on the runways this season? A lot of color blocking. Have you noticed that the colors are strong and they're really, really pronounced? So what I'm doing is I'm bringing that into this season's collection of hair color. What I've done is I'm a really versatile colorist. I believe there's a way you should look during the day and a way that you want to look at night. And I also believe, quite frankly, there's a way you should look for your husband and a way you should look for your boyfriend. Right? It's okay if he's the same guy. So what we've done here, and I love Sharon. Sharon's a drummer. So she can rock it out, which sometimes she has to be slightly more conservative. So what I've done is I've done some color blocking techniques, and you can see that when she has it on her part line, it's really quite soft. The minute I flip the part over, just gonna bring it over this way, all of a sudden the color totally opens up. Can you see that? So we completely changed her entire look just by changing the part in her hair. And I personally, good morning, Elena.
So today I have, if you were here yesterday, this is our model. We did the quick, Joe did a quick base, 7 minutes on her.
We did a base break. Let me share a little bit about that really quick. So this is Kirsten, and what I did yesterday is I did a quick, fast base break. We do these in the oils in the hair. 10N in Luo with 40 volume application for 7 minutes. And her level 7 hair came up this, and we totally opened up the whole color. So it's really about fast, effective, and efficient. I don't do 150. That is not my thing. I don't think your clients pay you for how many foils are. They pay you for the finished look. $1 rock star expensive blonde, and we did it literally 7 minutes on the base break and 10 minutes on the highlight.
And I think a very important thing, the highlight technique that she used in the front, I walked in on her while she was doing it this morning, was a pie shape off the front crown of the head, or
yep.
right about this area. Separation at the hairline, so it wasn't giving a little bit of space in the front, and then I believe you did one foil on the very front of the hairline right here, Joe?
Yes, I did a strong one
right here, just in the tip. And I'm just telling you, that is just a gorgeous blonde with 7 foils. I mean, just stunning. I've said about the color. I want to just talk about the shape just quickly, because I'm going to get started here and stop talking. I talked with her this morning. I'm looking at her fringe and she has her automatically. I like bob shapes, okay, but I don't like bobs that are cut straight, okay? So my newer shapes are kind of reverting backwards slightly from the fringe of the hair or the front of the hairline. So I'm going to be creating a nice shape coming off her face back through here. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the shape in the back and give it a little bit more weight so it pulls in at the bottom. So what we really have is a nice shape coming back and forward at the same time, which is a nice balanced shape throughout the haircut. So as I get started, I'm going to take very simple sections. So as I start doing that now, I'm going to cut for a while, and I'll come back to you with something important.
Thanks, Jerome. I want to bring it over here to Mr. Shinya Nakagawa. This is Shinya from Dop in New York. Shinya is a session stylist. He is an editorial stylist. He spends about 5 days a week doing photo shoots for all the top magazines in America and Europe. And Shinya, would you like to say hello to everybody?
Hi, good morning.
He doesn't talk too much, okay? His hands do the work, but he's not a big talker, so I'm going to speak for him. This is our model, Anushka, and you can see over here that Shinya has one side French braided the hair. So in other words, he brought the French braid all up on one side to give you a nice clean line, a little mohawk section. And he did one side to get started before he came on stage for time's sake. He's going through and doing the other side. And the thing that's really important to Shinya, and I know him really well, I've been working with him for 10 years, is that for Shinya, it's not about the finish, it's about the prep. So he spends about an hour prepping each model. He'll use layers and layers and layers of densité and different products that build the hair up. He'll fill the hair with product, blow dry it, refill the hair with product, blow dry it again, and refill the hair with product, and blow dry it a third time. It's not the finish that's as important as the prep, because the prep gives you the fabric. And when you're doing editorial work, it's about having flexible talker. But can you guys give it up for Shinya at Nakagawa? He doesn't talk much. Mike?
Thank you, Joe.
Through the back to lay it flat. So see, that's why I need him to talk, so he can tell me what he's doing. So he's just cleaning it up here. And you're going to be creating a nice full voluminous pompadour on top, correct? Awesome. And I'll come back to Shinya in a second. I just want to take you through really quickly where I'm at with Kimberly. I'm doing isosceles triangles. You might want to call them pie wedges, or for me, it's really tight on the top and it's full on the bottom. So what that gives me is a nice burst of color. Very little at the regrowth area and full through the mid-shaft and ends. I don't particularly like block color that goes down to the scalp. I think when you take block color down to the scalp, it looks like a gunshot wound. Right? Have you ever seen that? It's like, oh, it's too strong. So I like to feather my color, do some nice deep peaks and valleys on my regrowth area. And what I'm going to do right now is put one of those isosceles triangles in here on Kimberly so you can see how I do that. It's really important to me to get a nice saturation on my color blocking. And so what I like to do is I like to put my product on my foil first. So as you'll see, I put a lot of product on the foil because I want to saturate that hair. The worst thing in the world, you see that? Look, I'll smile.
Genius.
There you go. The reason why is the worst thing in the world is to take your highlight out and there's a spot that has it that you've missed. You know, they call it holidays, and quite frankly, I don't need a vacation when I'm working on hair. So I like to go in and make sure it's super saturated and have you can do your color blocking, you can do it back-to-back foils. I'm not that hairdresser. I'm fast and furious in the salon, so I really do it all in one piece. And you can see here, I'm just going to turn towards the camera, you can see that I left the regrowth area, can you see that? I left the regrowth area out. When you color block all the way to the scalp, I think it takes about 3 to 4 weeks before it looks really nice. Because you need that little bit of shadow in your regrowth area. So I like my clients to rock it the day they leave. And I take it just slightly off the scalp there. All right? And you can tell she's really well saturated. We're going to fold it up. And she's ready to go. I'm going to send her off. So Kimberly, thank you very, very much. Let me take this off of you. And you can actually send out Karen for me. Mike?
Thank you so much, Joe. Absolutely brilliant. Here we are. I'm actually, we're getting there, shaping this here. And just to let you know quickly, this is how I'm completed. Let me explain you this, how this is basically done. When you're going to train it, now you say maybe, hey, hold on, I don't have a client that has curly hair like that or whatnot. But what I step, but you know what, again, take your time when you learn this or when you do this. It's not a race. Everybody, can have his speed on it, and as long as you're basically open enough, to try out something new as well. And that's actually what I would really, from the bottom of my heart, give along with you today. Jerome.
Hey, thank you, Mike. Guys, I'm over here. I'm just trying to create my bottom line here of her haircut, trying to get it just nice and even. I'm using the crack of her lip here, coming straight down for my guideline. That way, when I'm on both sides, I know where I'm going with it, just from her facial features, okay? Now that I'm done with the curl line, I'm going to twist her around. And I want to make this come down, just a nice clean point here, okay? So I'm going to section down the center and the points of this haircut here. So, very simple, just very fine hair here, while Shinwan's over there explaining it up to me.
All right, how are we doing, Shinya?
Good.
Awesome. So Shinya's basically created a balance. in his one-sided French braid on each side. And he's doing a top braid, so the braid sits on top. These are single-sided cornrow French braids, and then he's...
So I'm going to finish this off, and I'm going to give over my words.
Hey guys, I'm just over here thank you Michael, just keeping the shape going here, just really working the shape in. I have to say, sometimes with finer hair, taking less sections is better for me, because it just gets a little confusing when you have a lot of fine hair moving around. So I'm just going through now, just pushing your hair all together, and just really seeing how this is falling. And see, you can put her face forward, so it's very visual when you put their hair down, what the shape of this haircut's going to be. So you can see how it comes down off the face this way, and then I fill up the layers to the back and kind of push it forward. And mess around with the style a little bit more and break the hat bit. So, thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Jerome. So over here on Karen, through the back.
So, thank you.
A nice veil of color, and I'm going to be doing some left side and right side swash highlights. Now, what do I mean by left side and right side swash? It means that the color is going to come all the way to the scalp only, and I pick my foil right up. I pick the foil right up with the left side swash already on the foil. Can you guys see that over there? I'm going high for you. All right? So you can see that the lighter is already on one side of the hair, of the foil. We're going to lay the foil in. And when we put the highlight in, we're going to take it to the scalp, only right here in the front to actually see. I always call it the money shot because it's the piece she's paying you for. If you've done a full head of highlights, I don't care if it's an ombre, I don't care if it's a regular highlight. If you don't have something powerful right around the